Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Dale Softball Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Drew Blevins. Logan Sims will be alongside shortly. This is Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of NC State softball. It's a rubber match today in the third game of the ACC opening series between the North Carolina State Wolfpack and the Virginia Tech Hokies. A quick recap of what happened yesterday in the doubleheader. NC State took the first game by a final count of 2-1. It was all in a swing of a bat on a two-run shot, and then it was Courtney Mirabella's job to hold down the fort with the pitching. Following that game, Virginia Tech ended up taking the game in two swings of the bat with a three-run home run and a grand slam. That ended up pulling them out very far ahead. They did have to hold down the fort with pitching once again, though, winning that game 8-7. Virginia Tech is a little bit of a dangerous opponent, especially with some oncoming younger players. Olivia Lattin will be leading off once again, and of course you have Murica in the cleanup spot here today. For NC State, they've adjusted their batting lineup accordingly. Lana Van Dyken will be leading off. Molly Hutchison has been bumped down into the third spot, and batting cleanup will be sophomore Meredith Burrows as well. Should be a very interesting ball game, especially considering Brittany Nimmo will be starting in the circle for NC State today. All the storylines have been set. First pitch is only moments away here from Raleigh. You're watching NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack. Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Curtis and Jacqueline Dale Softball Stadium. Today's matchup will pit the North Carolina State Wolfpack against the Virginia Tech Hokies. ACC softball opener for the Wolfpack. Drew Blevins alongside Logan Sims. Logan, this is going to be a rubber match for the series. Virginia Tech took the second game of the doubleheader. NC State took the first, both in one-run contest. How do you see this one going?
I see it being another close matchup today, Drew. Not expecting to see a lot of runs scored, but a good one all the same.
Leading off for Virginia Tech is going to be their second baseman, number 10, Olivia Lattin. She's a freshman batting .312, starter in 16 games for the Hokies. In the circle for the Wolfpack is going to be freshman Brittany Nimmo. First pitch is just low, ball one. Time of the first pitch is 12:03 p.m. here on a beautiful day in Raleigh. A little bit cloudy as some gray clouds are starting to cover the area, but for the most part, temperature-wise, very comfortable. Called strike, just on the outside corner for Nimmo. Rounding out the infield, Meredith Burrows at first, Hannah Summer at second, Lana Van Dyken at shortstop, and Maggie Hawkins at third base. 1-1 delivery, swung on, fouled back into the screen for strike two. The outfielders for the Wolfpack, Tyler Ross in left, Macaulay Prickett, the sophomore from Petaluma, California, out in center, and Molly Hutchison in right field. Cheyenne Balzer completes the battery back behind the plate. Here's the delivery. Good frame by Balzer, just outside. The count grows to 2-2. State pitching staff is certainly looking to limit their walks in this game, and thus far, decent control. Every pitch right around the plate. Here's the delivery. Swung on, popped up. This is going to be foul and out of play. Right off the top of the men's restroom on the concourse.
And in the direction of your car, Drew.
Yeah, you never like when softballs get pulled down that third base line. You park over there thinking you're going to be safe. Well, not always. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, fouled. This time down the first base line. That may have tipped off the base of Balzer's glove. Good at bat here for the freshman Olivia Lattin. She's batting .312. 3 home runs, 15 singles, and 3 doubles to go along with it. Another 2-2 delivery. Just misses outside. It's a full count. Lattin has been one of the catalysts for Virginia Tech as they battled a few injuries. Full count delivery. Wind up with the pitch. And that one's the ball. Inside, it misses. So it's a free trot down to first base for Olivia Lattin as she'll take it on the walk, and that'll bring Vanessa Gonzalez to the plate. And Logan, that was a very good at bat for Olivia Lattin. Fouled off a couple of pitches in a 2-strike count and was able to force Nimmo into throwing a couple balls there late.
Yes, she was. That was a very patient at bat, a very well fought at bat, and has put the Wolfpack in a tight position here in the first inning.
Gonzalez is out in left field today, batting .234. First pitch strike to her.
one of the most dangerous things you can do in the sport of softball is give up a first, just a leadoff walk. But it was very, very good for Nemo to come back. Nemo to come back there and get that first strike and now second strike.
Solid swing right into the NC State bullpen. Good catch down there by one of the managers. Barehanded nonetheless. And quickly 2 strikes against Vanessa Gonzalez. She'll dig back in, a righty versus righty matchup. The rock back and the pitch. Just outside, misses. The count grows to 1-2. Latin, not necessarily a likely candidate to steal, although she is second to the team lead in the category, 2 for 2 on her advances this year. That one outside in the other batter's box, 2-2 now. Back into the batter's box will go Vanessa Gonzalez. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, right back up to Brittany Nimmo. She's going to try for 2, throws it over. It's not going to be in time. Hannah Summer, good cover back to second base, but was not able to get the throw over to Burrows in time. So State will take the lead runner on the fielder's choice. And Justin Wilson, the SID, just notified me that Natalie Jones is actually playing out at second base. She's listed on the official roster as the designated player, but there was a change. Hannah Summer will be filling that role now. So Jones out there on the good turn. Katie Smith digging in here. She's the catcher for Virginia Tech today. A 1 pitch. That one upstairs, and that'll get by Balzer. That's a free pass, but it'll be counted as a wild pitch. Brittany Nimmo skies that one just too far for Balzer, and that'll send Vanessa Gonzalez down to second in scoring position with only 1 out. Logan, those are the type of errors that you don't want to see made, especially early in the game.
Especially not. They're fortunate they have 1 out, but that's putting a runner in scoring position is very dangerous.
Strike on the money there. So this will be a 1-2 pitch. Really good job by Brittany Nimmo so far, trying to get ahead in counts as best she possibly can. 1-2 pitch, swung on. Burrows makes the catch. Lana Van Dyken not back to second in time. Burrows wisely doesn't just fire that one over. So that's a line out over to Meredith Burrows, who makes the play, playing tight to the bag at first. Kelsey Maricka will step in here. She's the designated player. Another righty versus righty. That one just misses the outside corner, ball 1. Nimmo quickly back in the circle. Gonzalez standing out on second. Here's the pitch. Check swing, did not go around. Ball 2. Maricka doesn't have the best of batting averages, only 161 in her 12 games played. 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Good stop by Cheyenne Balzer on a low pitch, 3-0. Chelsea Whitcomb, the pitcher, is on deck. But Nimmo's going to look to try to zero in on the strike zone here. Here's the delivery. Good take, and looked like that Maricka thought she was about to have the trot down to first base. Home plate umpire Steve Gould said otherwise. 3-1. And Logan, right here's your green light count. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside. Ball 4, free pass down to first. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Chelsea Whitcomb will be starting in the circle for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Whitcomb is a freshman batting .318, 16 games played and 16 started as well. Fantastic numbers, 14 hits for her, 14 singles, I should say, with a couple of doubles and a couple of home runs to match. The ball one pitch there. Nimmo back on the stripe. Gets the signal from her wristband. Rocks back. Fires. Good pitch. Just misses. 2-0. Logan, so far, very patient hitters for the Hokies, but Sean Reichik's going to come out and have a quick discussion here with his freshman hurler. You really can't blame him here. A little bit of action going on in the state bullpen. That looks like Courtney Mirabella, and right now she's the only one talking with one of the managers. Not a whole lot of action. Harley Hubbard thus far has been the go-to girl in some of the late game situations. But Logan, what's the conversation like right now in the pitching circle?
You just want to calm down your pitcher. 2 men on, yes, but you have 2 outs. You just really need to try to get a ball on the ground here because it's an out at any base.
Well, Cheyenne Balzer showing a lot of maturity. She's going to hang out there and give a little pep talk to her pitcher. You almost got to imagine this has got to be a strike. Whitcomb deep in the batter's box, not crowding the plate by any stretch of the means. 2-0 delivery. Swung on and fouled. Good swing, good pitch. Just hit the lower part of the bat of Chelsea Whitcomb. And right back into the count comes Brittany Nimmo. State does not want to give up any early runs. Virginia Tech likes to pounce early. And that one misses low and away. 3-1. Hitters count once again. Logan with 2 outs. Is this a green light swing situation?
It is if I'm the coach. Put the ball in play. Gives you, unless it's just way out of the zone, it gives you an opportunity to score some runs.
Big cut. Nothing but air on that one. Full count. Good pitch, little off speed. Big count right here and a big pitch. Swung on, fouled off the bottom of the bat. We'll hit the reset button and do it all over again at a full count. Good battle by Whitcomb. She's shown good plate discipline so far this at-bat. Not afraid to foul off a couple of pitches. She's really working the opposing freshman pitcher. Nimmo with the signal. Goes into her motion, fires. Swung on, that'll be put in play to Van Dyken. Gonna be a close play at first, but she got her by a step. Good throw by Lana Van Dyken over to Meredith Burrows, and the side is retired. Virginia Tech strands a couple on base. NC State's about to grab the lumber. They'll head to bat in the bottom of the first. You're watching NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Welcome back to Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of NC State softball. Drew Blevins alongside Logan Sims. 5 batters up in that last half inning for the Virginia Tech Hokies. They cannot plate a run, so NC State is going to grab the bat and head into the plate here. The batting lineup for the Pack will be Lana Van Dyken, Tyler Ross, Molly Hutchison, and if she's needed in this inning, the cleanup hitter will be Meredith Burrows. In the circle for the Hokies is going to be Chelsea Whitcomb. The designated player is Kelsey Maricka, but she is not in the batting lineup for the pitcher. Instead, she's batting for the third baseman, who's Michaela Aiken. Nolan, Latin, and Burley in that order from left to right round out the infield. In left field is Gonzalez, Johnson in center, Ota in right. The battery, Whitcomb and Smith behind the plate. First pitch ball to Lana Van Dyken, who's the shortstop for the Pack.
Yeah, Drew, I mentioned before the game, I believe it's going to be a relatively low-scoring game. If the NC State Wolfpack want to change that, they're going to need to score quick and early here in this first inning.
Well, you never like to hear the smack of the softball against something, especially when you can't see what that something is, but that's fouled directly back behind the screen. And as we've mentioned many times before, cars parked just on the other side of the walls here, as that one's fouled up over the screen once again.
Yeah, Drew, I like seeing this aggressiveness out of Van Dyken here early.
Van Dyken batting at .241 with 54 at-bats on her resume. This one pops straight out to center, and right under it is Johnson. She'll make the first out. was a well-hit ball. Johnson had to backtrack quite a little ways to get back to that ball as it just kept carrying and carrying. But nonetheless, a good catch made out in center by Kinsey Johnson. Tyler Ross will step into the batter's box here. Ross in left field for the Wolfpack. Known for her power hitting and her speed. Ross with 16 RBIs, 8 home runs. But the really astounding number is 11 for 11 stealing bases.
Simply incredible.
She went 4 for 4, setting the new school record against Charlotte. That was Wednesday. And that one hits the high outside corner, 1-1. Ross is a junior, so Sean Rychik is expecting to be able to retain her for another year. Certainly a very valuable asset on this team. Gets a good stroke into this one, but it's twisting foul into the NC State bullpen. And Logan, aggressive hitting, something Sean Rychik likes. Swing the bat if you think you've got an opportunity to put it in play.
Yeah, Drew, growing up, I'd always say the ball's not going to hit itself.
That one upstairs, 2-2 count. Ross right back in. Back toe on the chalk. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the screen, pardon. Good fastball there by Whitcomb. Virginia Tech, white tops, orange pants, NC State in the All Blacks on this Sunday afternoon. Here's the pitch. That one called strike 3, and this is not good. Chelsea Whitcomb immediately collapsed in front of the pitching circle. The strikeout will go to her resume. Good to see her pop back up. I'm not sure if that was a footing issue. She does have a brace on that leg. Logan, what did you see there?
I'm not going to lie, I didn't see much right there. I was watching the pitch, cut the outside corner, and then I saw that she was on the ground. Not a pretty sight, not something you ever want to see.
No, it's always terrifying when you see a pitcher crumble like that, and we certainly hope that Chelsea Whitcomb is going to be okay. Looks like she's trying to walk it off, but she does have her coach out there, and the trainer is going to take a look at her. Just never one of those things you want to see. And while they tend to the freshman pitcher, we will step aside here from Dale Softball Stadium. Welcome back to Dale Softball Stadium. Scary sight as Chelsea Whitcomb took a tumble after her strikeout pitch to Tyler Ross. She is going to stay in the circle for now. Logan, from what it looked like, she just stepped wrong.
If you watch her when she plants her foot, she twists her knee just a little bit, and we were informed that she tore her ACL last fall, so just feeling some tightness in that leg, I would assume.
Molly Hutchison will dig in here. Hutchison can play catcher for the Wolfpack, but today she is out in right field, allowing Cheyenne Balzer to be back behind the plate. Hutchison, another very strong hitter for NC State. Only 2 home runs, 9 RBIs for the Pack, but batting at .321. Off-speed delivery right down the middle and quickly 0-2. Chelsea Whitcomb, very good start to this game. Strikeout to her resume, forced a fly out to center for Lana Van Dyken. And 0-2 here to Hutchison. And that one upstairs, and down she goes again. She is having a whole lot of trouble putting weight on that plant leg, and she's going to walk it off right here. That's really unfortunate. She looked like that she was going to have an outstanding day, but I'd imagine the coaching staff's going to keep her out for her own health here, Logan.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. A second time, you just don't want to take any chances. Take her back, reevaluate her, find out what the situation is as you go forward through the rest of the season.
So Virginia Tech is going to have a new pitcher take to the circle. And that is going to be Maggie Tyler, the senior right-hander. Whole lot of speed for Maggie Tyler. And you really got to like this matchup. Tyler's sort of been one of their go-to pitchers for these last few years. No bad option to go with for Virginia Tech in the pitching circle.
Definitely not. Not what you were hoping to coming into this day, hoping to get some good innings out of Whitcomb. Because like you said, she was looking really outstanding to begin with. But definitely the safe option here and a good choice for Virginia Tech.
So Tyler will take to the stripe here. The good news for her is all she needs one more strike. She'll come in at a 1-2 count, and it'll be another meeting out of the pitcher circle here for Virginia Tech.
And if you're Molly Hutchinson here, I would expect something to hit on the first pitch because they're going to want to try to get out of this first inning, get refocused, and move on with the rest of the game. So this is definitely an unfortunate but albeit a good opportunity for the Wolfpack to take advantage of some circumstances.
So Maggie Tyler at the back of the chalked pitching circle. Sean Rychick with a couple of last-second instructions here for Molly Hutchison, as the Hokies will work out the roster here with home plate umpire Steve Gold. On deck for the Wolfpack would be Meredith Burrows, the first baseman. But Chelsea Whitcomb, in her 2/3 of an inning pitched, made quick work of the NC State roster. Well, everything has been worked out for the time being, and now it'll be Steve Gold's job to head over to Sean Rychick and relay the changes. And Logan, if you're Scott Thomas right now, what's your thought process in trying to motivate that Virginia Tech dugout after seeing a tough injury to a freshman pitcher?
I'd just be telling them that it was a strong first inning. They didn't put a run on the board, but they had their opportunities in the top of the first. And Whitcomb did come out and pitch some strong innings. So it's nothing to really get too flustered over. Settle down, get back to work, take care of business. This doesn't really change much, in my opinion, of the game. Just it depends on how the Wolfpack reacts. Still could be a relatively low-scoring game.
So Maggie Tyler will toe the rubber here. 2-2 delivery. That one misses outside. It's a full count. Could be a big pitch here as NC State's heading into the heart of that batting lineup. 2 outs. And that one upstairs. Hutchison takes the stroll down to first, and that is going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Meredith Burrows, as she'll dig in here. Logan, how patient are you being considering Maggie Tyler is going to come in not very far removed from pregame warm-up, so not incredibly cold, but slightly cold nonetheless? Are you waiting for her to throw a strike before you even take that bat off your shoulder?
I am at this point. I said before that first pitch to Molly that I would be expecting something to hit, but she hasn't shown that she has much control yet. Not a lot of warmth in her shoulder and her elbow. So I would probably at this point wait for a strike, at least the first few batters.
Meredith Burrows with the trademark blonde ponytail out at the back of her batting helmet. The sophomore batting at .320. Really another outstanding hitter. 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. Team leader in the category. And now we're going to have a gathering of the umpires here.
I'm not so sure if they're not questioning the count, because I thought I counted that
the scoreboard did show 1 and 2, but the ball, it was quickly changed.
The ball that Whitcomb threw on her last pitch, I was pretty sure that was ball 1. So I'm not. No, I believe they're correct here that they're switching. They're bringing Molly Hutchison back home.
That's exactly right. This
is
is a full count pitch.
This is the right call, because it was 0-2 when Whitcomb went down with her second knee injury. So this is not the wrong call by any means. Good job of the Virginia Tech coaching staff and umpires to get together to correct the call.
Scott Thomas immediately recognized it. Full count pitch, fouled back into the screen, and Logan, if that screen hadn't have been there, that would have been right in your lap. So it'll be another full count pitch here. Hutchison would love nothing more than to head right back down to first, either via a hit or a walk. Here it is, delivery, and that one's going to be a seeing eye single right between first and second. Good throw on the way back by Ota.
Smart play by the right fielder. Definitely had an opportunity to make a play there at first. Just couldn't get quite the zip on it.
Well, it's all going to end up in the same result, except it's going to be a single for Molly Hutchison, and Meredith Burrows will come in. Burrows, a left-handed batter. Not necessarily fond of the slap hit approach necessarily because she does have a whole lot of power. And there you go. That's the type of swing that this sophomore brings to the plate.
Very quick.
That one fouled out of play once again.
You still like to see the aggressiveness now that we see that the pitcher's warmed up and has got her roll going.
Tyler misses outside, 1-1. Burrows in her 51st at bat. Tyler delivers, misses low, 2-1. And just to show you the difference in pitching styles, Maggie Tyler will get right up to the rubber. She'll get right to throwing. This one is absolutely crushed, but there's a lot of air under it, and it's going to go right out to center for Johnson, who will make the play. Looked like it had a little more carry on it than it did, but another caught fly ball by Johnson will retire NC State, stranding Molly Hutchison on first base. Well, an extended first inning due to some injuries and due to some discrepancies with the pitching count, but nonetheless we are through it with the same result as where we started this game at 0-0. Virginia Tech will come back up trying to manufacture some offense in the top of the second. You're watching NC State softball on GoPack.com. Welcome back to Dale Softball Stadium. Drew Blevins and Logan Sims with you for this one. Extended first inning. Still 0-0 as Brittany Nimmo right back into the pitching circle here.
I was going to say you might want to keep an eye on Nimmo after that extended break, but she got right back to business. Leadoff strike.
Caitlin Nolan, the shortstop, digging in here for the Hokies. Line up of the pitch. Oh, that one caught her up on the shoulder. Nimmo lost a little bit of control there, so it's a free pass down to first base as Nolan takes it up high. And that'll bring Elizabeth Burley to the plate.
Nimmo's playing with fire right now by continuing to put batters on or runners on first without an out, especially free passes like that.
Nimmo gets the target. Here's the pitch. That one, another one misses inside. Burley had to back out of the way of that one, 1-0. Wonder if she's just not getting enough spin to pull that back in toward the plate. Off speed, misses again at 2-0. Nolan dancing down there on first. No stolen bases, no attempts to steal a base, so no running threat you wouldn't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pitch. That one runs inside, 3-0.
I think that's where she's been trying to get it, is right in on the corner of the plate. Has not had much success so far, besides the first pitch of the inning.
Well, and you can't really blame Steve Gold either. Thus far, it's been a fairly consistent strike zone, but just missing on the outside by about the width of a softball. 3-0 pitch, and that one's right down the pipe, strike one.
That's the pitcher right there, knowing that they're waiting for a strike at this point. Put it right down the middle, get that first strike.
Burley will toe back in here.
You need to be careful. You can't throw a pitch quite that. Well, maybe you can.
That one right down the middle once again. Burley very patient.
They're expecting another ball, I would assume, and she took advantage.
Burley batting 130. Few singles to her name and one home run. Full count pitch from Nimmo. She'll get the signal. Fires this one, and that one's batted, clubbed right back down. Scott Thomas has to get out of the way quickly. Pardon, that's Justin Miller coaching third. Coaching staff for Virginia Tech decked out in almost matching uniforms, all with the burnt orange tops. Another full count pitch on the way. And that one's clubbed right back over. Summer can't make the play. Pardon Maggie Hawkins off the heel of her glove. We'll see how that's going to be scored. It's going to be a base hit. That's a difficult play to make in that general area there, Logan.
Yeah, it's right up in between the hot corner and shortstop. It was definitely a difficult play off of a hot hit.
Maggie Hawkins came speeding over, got good leather on it, but it just went under the webbing of her glove. She stopped it from being any worse than it possibly could have been.
It was good, it was good awareness by the catcher for the Wolfpack. Cheyenne Bowser, she went down to third base because for a moment there, third base was open for the taking.
Ashley Kowalski has come in as a pinch runner. She'll be on first. Nolan still out in second. Another runner in scoring position for the Hokies, which is exactly what you want. Bunt laid down, fielded by Balzer. Throw down to first, and she'll get the batter. Nope, that was a foul ball. Balzer went through all the motions, threw down to Burrows, who made the catch, but play is halted on the foul ball.
That was a good play by Balzer, continuing through till the play was called dead.
Kinsey Johnson at the plate for the Hokies. She'll try it again. This time puts it right back out to the pitcher. Nimmo gladly fires to first. Good little bit of small ball action there, though, as both runners advance. No force at any bag. Runners on second and third with one out. Solid bunt by Kinsey Johnson. Her runners got good jump off of it. And really, Nimmo didn't have any other play to make but to go to first there, Logan.
That was a perfect bunt. You know, it was maybe straight back to the pitcher was not exactly what you wanted, but it was high up and close enough that she wasn't able to make a play at second or third. She did her job.
Kiara Ota in now. She'll take the first pitch strike. Ota's going to turn it over back to Olivia Lattin, who's on deck. Slap attempt, a little bit late on the swing, fouled back. Ota out in right field today for Virginia Tech. Batting even at 200.
This is exactly the situation you want if you're Virginia Tech. A left-handed hit up there, try to pull it a little bit.
Goes right back up. Throw back to third. We've got her in a rundown. Play at the plate. Balzer easily with the tag there. No run scores. Good play to get Caitlin Nolan, who got a little overzealous on the jump off the bag. Good awareness by Brittany Nimmo to go ahead and throw that ball home. Ota will reach first, though. Runners at the corners with two outs.
Very good awareness, like you said, by Nimmo right there. Gave them the opportunity to get that lead out, not allow Virginia Tech to score a run. Virginia Tech on top of the play, still able to get a runner back to third.
Olivia Lattin back up to the plate, the second baseman. Walked in her first at-bat last inning. The twist and the pitch. Inside, good stop once again by Cheyenne Balzer. And Sean Reichik is going to have a meeting of his infielders here. Logan, you do have to be careful here. This is one of those situations that if you do instruct Balzer to throw down to second base, you've got to be sure to get that ball back to home because it could be a double running play.
You're right, and you just need to be aware of that as the middle infielders. If the ball's coming, you need to not evaluate, but decide if you have a play on that tag at second or if you'll be able to get it back home and get the lead runner out if she is running.
Not a whole lot of running statistics to go off of with Ota. No stolen bases, no attempts, but Ashley Kowalski has a lot of speed down on third base, and that's one of the reasons she was brought in to pinch run for Elizabeth Burley. And that's not going to matter. That's a rip. Line drive right over the head of Natalie Jones, and that is going to plate the first run of the ball game as Kowalski comes around to score. Good piece of hitting by Olivia Latin with the single, and Virginia Tech draws first blood at 1-0. And Logan, that was just a beautiful piece of hitting. A frozen rope right over the head of Natalie Jones. Lands in the green grass.
You could not have asked for a better hit up.
Vanessa Gonzalez will dig back in here. And that one's going to be batted right down to Meredith Burrows. She'll take it herself, and that'll retire the side. Virginia Tech draws first blood on the single from Olivia Latin that will plate Kowalski, so the score is 1-0 at the end of 1.5 innings. Bottom of the second on the way as NC State looks to answer. You're watching NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Welcome back to the little slice of heaven between Cates and Morrill. Drew Blevins alongside Logan Sims. NC State down 1-0 after Ashley Kowalski comes around to score on the Olivia Latin single. Heart of the lineup coming up for NC State, 5, 6, 7. Maggie Hawkins, Hannah Summer, and Cheyenne Balzer. First pitch from Maggie Tyler's a strike. Tyler coming in for the starter, who was Chelsea Whitcomb. Left after 2/3 of an innings pitched.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Maggie Tyler, or excuse me, not Maggie Tyler, Chelsea Whitcomb. You know, like we said, she came in looking really strong. Not the day she was hoping for.
Well, Maggie Tyler, quite the arm on her. It's now a 1-2 pitchers count. Delivery again, inside, swing and a miss, strike 3. Maggie Tyler goes with a high cheddar and gets her first strikeout of the day. And that's going to bring Hannah Summer to the plate.
Number 44, Hannah Summer.
Summer is the designated player. Deep in the batter's box. First pitch to her, inside, but Summer with the stroke. Great play at short, all the way across, and they got her! That's an unbelievable defensive play from Nolan. The stretch, scoop, and throw. Logan, you don't see many better defensive plays than that right there. That's outstanding.
You really don't, and Nolan, she really knew the circumstances, took her time, and made a really strong throw from deep shortstop, closer to third base, really. Great play. This is turning into a real barn burner, as you would say, Drew.
Balzer with the swing and the miss for strike 1.
You got to say, if Tyler, she's really settled down here so far this inning, this could turn into some really quick innings.
That one misses outside, 1-1. That play by Caitlin Nolan, that's the closest thing in collegiate softball you'll see to Derek Jeter. That's outstanding. 1-1 pitch, healthy cut, fouled back into the screen, 1-2. Maggie Tyler, very speedy pitcher, wasting no time here. It's no wasted motion either. That one misses low, 2-2. You see Brittany Nimmo, who's got her full wind-up and very choreographed delivery. Maggie Tyler on the rubber, big wind-up, big speed. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1, 2, 3, the inning is over. Maggie Tyler with a couple of strikeouts and a superb play for the middle out by Caitlin Nolan. Quick work for Virginia Tech, and they'll grab a bat and head back up to the plate, looking to extend their lead. After 2, it's the Hokies 1 and the Wolfpack 0. You're watching NC State softball on GoPack.com and Wolfpack Sports Television. Katie Smith will lead things off in the top of the 3rd inning for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Right now, VT holding the lead over NC State 1-0 with the run scored in the top of the 2nd inning. Smith lined out to Meredith Burrows in her first at-bat back in the 1st inning. First pitch to her is a ball. Logan, will be interesting to see how Brittany Nimmo responds here, having to play from a run behind. Trying to outduel senior Maggie Tyler's tall task. This one is crushed, going to the wall. It's going to reach the warning track no further. Hutchison picks it up. Good cutoff throw to Natalie Jones. That's going to prevent Katie Smith from getting any further than first base. And superb fielding job by Hutchison, but that ball's down. Absolutely rocketed out to the warning track, and it's another leadoff man on base for Virginia Tech, that time courtesy of a well-hit single by Katie Smith.
Yeah, Smith put some drive into that ball, did exactly what she needed to do to get that leadoff runner, and once again the leadoff is on for the Hokies.
Kelsey Mareka. That went outside. Healthy lead there from Smith. She's 100% stealing with a sample size of 1. 1 attempt, 1 stolen base. Mareka walked on her last at bat. 1-0 delivery. Healthy cut here. This one's popped. Hutchison going. Fields under it. Tagging back to first is Katie Smith. 1 out on the flyout.
And that's a much-needed out. I don't remember exactly, but I believe that the Hokies have gotten the first 2 runners on each of the first 2 innings, so definitely much-needed out. Take a little pressure off of Nemo as she goes forward through the rest of the inning.
Now, Logan, check this out. Chelsea Whitcomb will take her at-bat here. Solid delivery, just misses low. Whitcomb started in the circle, went 2/3 of an inning before an apparent lower body injury took her out for Maggie Tyler.
It'll be interesting to see how she can run if she's able to put the ball in play here.
Here's the delivery. Healthy cut here. This is going to go over Van Dyken's head in the gap. Could be extra bases if she can wheel around. Fielded out in center by Macaulay Prickett. Throw back down. Cut off well, but it's going to be a standing double by Chelsea Whitcomb on an absolute frozen rope out between the left and center fielders. And Cheyenne Balzer is going to go out and have another discussion here with Brittany Nimmo. 1-out situation. This is very similar to how Virginia Tech scored last inning. No force out at any base due to the absence of a runner on first. And this is going to be Caitlin Nolan, who had a superb defensive play in the bottom of the second last inning. And she's going to come in and she's going to be asked to put the ball in play here with 1 out and 2 in scoring position.
I guess Whitcomb decided that she might not be able to pitch, but she still wants to make an impact on this game.
Caitlin Nolan, the shortstop. First pitch to her. Inside, strike 1. And that's the pitch she's been trying to frame all day long. And that's exactly how you want to do it, right on the inside portion of the plate. It's a very difficult pitch to hit.
And if you do hit it, most of the time it's going to be hit foul if you get it where you want it to on the inside of that plate.
Certainly where you want to keep the hands tight and just try to drive the ball. That's exactly why this is popped up. Just misses the press box by a couple of feet. Fouled back directly behind the screen. Nolan's quickly down to the count now, 0-2.
And you mentioned it earlier today, Drew. It's pretty cool outside, probably around 50 degrees. There's some clouds. Looks like they're rolling in, but it's still a decent crowd for a Sunday of spring break game.
This one is popped back up, trying to get over and make the play, and it's just off the top of the dugout. If Maggie Hawkins had had about 2 more feet, she could have made the play there, but just off the netting that covers the NC State dugout. Nolan will live to swing another day. Cheyenne Balzer saw something on that last pitch, and she's going to go out and have quick discussion with her pitcher here.
And I think Maggie Hawkins is a little shaken up there after that play. I felt like I saw it hit off the top of her head, so I don't know if she might be feeling that a little bit right now.
Well, there are a couple of coaches attending to her down there by the state dugout.
She seems to be okay.
Hawkins trying to walk it off. Maggie Hawkins on the day struck out in her first at bat. but another very valuable player for the Wolfpack, a senior batting .327, including 4 home runs and 15 RBIs.
And NC State doesn't have another third baseman listed.
Well, they've had to deal with a couple of infield shifts with the absence of Alyssa Compton. Sean Reichik has been a very creative thinker in crafting his infield, and he's out there having the discussion with Maggie Hawkins right now.
You know, they're called softballs, but they're not very soft. Hitting off the top of your head is never going to feel good. You got to make sure that she's not experiencing any kind of symptoms. Because, you know, like I said, I thought I saw a hit just off the top of her head.
Well, where we are so far, it's been quite the eventful game already. It was a long first inning with Chelsea Whitcomb, the starting pitcher for Virginia Tech, leaving the circle after 2/3 of an inning pitched. Maggie Tyler comes in for her and has made quick work of the NC State batting order. Brittany Nimmo's gotten in a jam a couple of times. Virginia Tech was able to manufacture a run off of her. And here we are in the top of the third. Maggie Hawkins is going to tough this one out. Still an 0-2 count. It's good to see Maggie Hawkins stay in that game. That means Natalie Jones will stay put at second. She would have been the most likely candidate to move over to third. Caitlin Nolan will dig back in here. Down to the count, 0-2. Nimmo winds, fires. Isn't going to get the call there. Misses low, 1-2. Couple of groans from crowd. That's a fairly good one here at Dale Softball Stadium. And if you want to know why they're here, look no further than the scores of yesterday. Both of them one-run games. That one misses low, 2-2. In fact, for NC State, dating back to their game against Charlotte, they've all been one-run games, and exciting ones at that.
And that's what you want to see as you're getting into conference play. Any good game is much needed.
Inside, 3 straight balls, and it's a full count now with an open first base. Elizabeth Burley slated on deck. Burley had a single in her last at bat. Big pitch. That one misses inside. Ball 4, and Caitlin Nolan draws an unlikely walk as she'll take it down to first base. That's incredible plate discipline. Down in the count, 0-2. You've got to imagine you got to swing at anything close. And that is going to put Elizabeth Burley in the batter's box. Logan, you do have a couple of options. You can opt for Burley to just go ahead and try to put this in play, or you can play a little bit more small ball and just tell her to put it in the outfield. Some instructions being given.
I would try, if I was, my goal would be to score a run, play small ball. We've had 2 close games yesterday. You can't expect much less today. You need to put on every run that you can. I mean, if you can get a nice solid line drive, that'd be nice. But if you're the batter, you want to avoid anything on the ground at this point.
So you'd be looking for Burley to try to lift this ball. Brittany Nimmo in a bind, bases loaded. 1 out. Monumental at bat here. Here's the pitch. Called strike.
And that's exactly what you want to do right there if you're Nimmo. Keep it down in the zone.
Burley, with the single at her last at bat, batting just over 130, which is what she came into the game with. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, popped foul. Another early 0-2 count here. Brittany Nimmo would love to get the strikeout. She'll get the signal off of her wristband. Rocks and fires. And that one's clubbed down the third baseline, foul. Good off-speed pitch. Burley a little bit in front of it. Just try to manage to put it over toward Maggie Hawkins, but that one crosses the chalk foul. Logan, you went off speed there. Do you come back and attack with a fastball, or do you try another breaker?
I would try another breaker. You still have an 0-2 count. A breaking ball gives you more likelihood of putting it on the ground.
Went for the
Just like that.
fastball inside. Good location. Tough to lay off, but it is going to be 1-2. Burley has drawn 5 walks on the season. A little ways to go before that. That's a hard hit ball. That one nearly hit Coach Miller. He's having to play dodgeball over there in the third base coaching box, but gets out of the way. Count stays at 1-2. Quiet, calm energy in the Hokie dugout right now. Big situation. Another 1-2 pitch. Good framing by Cheyenne Balzer, but not going to get the call. It's 2-2. That's arguably one of the most tense moments in baseball. You get a close pitch, one of the corners like that. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting and no signal given.
Sometimes you have the umpires that'll wait and then give the signal.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's exactly what Brittany Nimmo needed to have happen there as Burley swings through the fastball down the pipe. First strikeout of the day for Brittany Nimmo. And this will bring Kinsey Johnson to the plate. Johnson was the one who laid down the bunt earlier that ended up moving Kowalski from second to third. She was the eventual runner to score. She's going to put this one right over to Natalie Jones, who can't field it. Run is going to score. Play at the plate, and it's going to be cut off by Burrows. 3-0 for Virginia Tech. That's going to be scored as an error on Natalie Jones at second. That's a very, very tough break for the freshman. Looked like she got in front of the ball, and it popped up out of the dirt onto the heel of her glove. Bounces into the outfield. Unfortunate break as a couple come around to score for Virginia Tech, and it's 3-0. Kiara Ota will step in now. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Slap hit as Ota puts it over for Hawkins. She'll fire for Meredith Burrows. Good stretch, and the putout will be completed there. NC State looked like it was going to be able to get out of the inning with no damage done after the strikeout from Brittany Nimmo, but the error off the heel of the glove of Natalie Jones allows Virginia Tech to plate a couple of more in the third inning. That makes it Hokies 3, Wolfpack 0. NC State desperately searching for some offense. They'll come up to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. You're watching NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Welcome back to Dale Softball Stadium. Virginia Tech leading the NC State Wolfpack 3-0 after an error by Natalie Jones allows Tech to plate a couple more runs in the third inning. Brittany Nimmo is going to bat for herself in place of Jones here. Healthy cut on the pitch for Maggie Tyler. 0-1. Nimmo right back in, righty versus righty matchup, and Sean Reichik's just trying to get back to the top of the order where most of the offense is going to be produced. 8-9-1 in that batting order for NC State. So Lana Van Dyken will represent the top of that batting order. She's in the hole here. 0-2 for Tyler. Misses upstairs. 1-2. She'll get the signal off her wristband. Quickly back on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That one's grounded right back up for Nolan. Picks it up, fires over to first for Burley. 1 up, 1 down. A good put out, 6-3 in the scorebook.
Now coming to the plate, number 24, Macaulay.
Sophomore Macaulay Prickett from Petaluma, California will be the batter here. Prickett in center field, batting .273. 1 RBI. 7 hits. Tried the slap after it. Unsuccessful. Well, they're going to say she pulled it back, said Steve Gold. Runs out for a slap hit again. That pitch misses outside. It's now 2-0. Prickett right at the front of the batter's box. Here's the pitch, slaps at it. This is going to be popped, slicing foul. Slices down the third base line, out of play. 2-1 count. Prickett's one of those valuable assets. She can draw walks, not the biggest frame out in the batter's box. Reached out for that one. A little late on making the decision. She slaps it foul, 2-2. Right back up to the front of the batter's box. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swung on. This will be grounded right back for Olivia Lattin. She'll scoop over. Makes the play to Burley. Throw beats Prickett by about a half a step. Good speed out of the 9-hole hitter. Just not quite enough in that instance. 2 up, 2 down.
Now batting, number 10,
Logan, quick work again. Maggie Tyler not allowing leadoff runners to get on base. NC State having a lot of trouble producing offensively.
Yeah, they're doing their best. They're putting the ball in play, but Virginia Tech's just making the plays that they need to do.
Fastball inside. Misses Van Dyken by a few inches. Ball 1. Tyler winds and fires. That one high and away, ball 2. Van Dyken has drawn 5 walks on the season. 2 RBIs hitting, batting at .241. That's a called strike. That's an excellent pitch. Frames the outside portion of the plate nearly perfectly. Van Dyken will dig right back in, deep in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Swung on, slicing foul into the state bullpen. 2-2. Logan, when you see those left-handed batters slicing it down the third base line, they're swinging late, and that just shows the speed getting behind some of these pitches for Maggie Tyler.
Swinging later, they're just trying to slap it down the third baseline. Both of them resulting in that, like you said, into the bullpen.
That one
Foul
misses
ball.
outside. Full count here. Van Dyken would love to try to get this bat to keep moving, and she is going to send a shot right at Olivia Lattin. That's a single, except for Lattin is right there in the path of the ball. Makes the play with the basket catch just below the belt line. Good play made on solid contact from Van Dyken, but nothing doing again for NC State in the bottom of the third. We'll clock back around to the top of the fourth with Virginia Tech grabbing the bats with the score: Virginia Tech 3, NC State 0. You're watching NC State Softball on GoPack.com and Wolfpack Sports Television. Welcome back to Raleigh inside Dale Softball Stadium. What has turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous Sunday afternoon for softball. Virginia Tech right now leading the NC State Wolfpack 3-0. Will be a roster change of note. Steve Gold was indicating that up to the press box. And that's just simply putting Natalie Jones back into the ballgame at second base. Brittany Nimmo batted for herself in the bottom half of the last inning. Brittany Nimmo returns to the circle here, looking to get off to a sharp start. Olivia Lattin, top of the order and the leadoff hitter, takes strike 1. Lattin has walked and singled. Nimmo pitches. Solid contact once again. Justin Miller's getting a workout down there on the third base line, let me tell you that. Got all of his batters aiming for him. Gets out of the way. Another quick start for Nimmo at an 0-2 count, Logan. She needs to try to finish this one out as quickly as possible.
She really does. Try to keep that leadoff runner off base for the first time this game.
Off speed, outside. 1-2. I mean, Logan, that's just one of those bait pitches to see if you can get the batter to swing at it. A lot of eye candy and a few more pitches to work with here for Nimmo. See what she does here. Here's the delivery. Tries the cheese upstairs and misses. 2-2 pitch now. Nimmo did lose a batter from 0-2 to 4 straight balls. Here's the pitch. That one downstairs. So from 0-2 to a full count now, Olivia Lattin continues to work. Lattin's been walked 9 times on the season so far. That's including the one she took back in the first inning. The windup and the delivery. And that one just came out of her hand awkwardly. And Logan, you thought that maybe Olivia Lattin wasn't going to be allowed on the base path as the opening batter, but she will take the stroll to first on another walk. Virginia Tech in business as Vanessa Gonzalez will come back up. Gonzalez in left field, hit into a fielder's choice and was put out unassisted by Meredith Burrows in that order. First pitch, called strike. Nimmo continuing to try to battle and put her batters in a good position to try to help her out a little bit. Bunt attempt. Misses. Balzer was quickly up, looking to fire down to whichever base Lattin was going to try to advance to. She was caught almost squarely between first and second. Balzer ends up holding. Lattin 2 for 2 stealing this season. 0-2 pitch. That one swung on a grounder, just foul. That one came off the bat with a lot of spin on the ball. Logan, you always hold your breath when you see one of those pitches, one of those hits, I should say, as a coach, that's just sort of right on the chalk. When it has a lot of spin on it, sometimes it just takes so much topspin that it ends up rolling and rolling and rolling and repainting the chalk. Of course, that's a fair ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, it gives the batter runner an opportunity to get to first.
Well, here's another 0-2 delivery. That one misses just outside. 1-2. I mean, of course, softball with a full dirt infield. In baseball, you see one of those, and you get it right on that little track of grass in the infield, and sometimes it'll just roll right along that. The 1-2 delivery now. Hawkins off the heel of her glove. Van Dyken's got to get back to make the stop before it trickles further into the outfield. And another base runner on, 2 on again for the Hokies.
That's unfortunate because Van Dyken had an opportunity to make a play there. It hit off the glove of, excuse me, off the glove of Hawkins.
Maggie Hawkins will be credited with the error. It's the second of the game for the Wolfpack. And Sean Reichik is going to rally the troops in the pitcher circle once again. Logan, put yourself in Coach Reichik's shoes here. Couple of defensive errors have really hurt your ball club, and now you've got another couple of runners on with no outs. What are you telling your team right now?
I'm really telling them that they really need to team up around Nimmo. You know, like you said, there have been a couple of defensive errors that have led to a few of these runs. Definitely not a bad day for Nimmo. She's pitching fairly well. She's just had some unfortunate delays with the injuries. It's just not exactly what you're hoping for. And then, you know, on the offensive side, start putting the ball in play, trying to get it over the head of the infielders and create some opportunities to score.
For Virginia Tech, it's 3 runs on 4 hits, and the Pack have committed 2 errors, really not helping their cause. And you subtract the error from the 3rd inning off of Natalie Jones's glove heel, and it's only 1-0. And the Pack are in dire straits right now. Runner in scoring position. Another one added on first base here. Steve Gold will take his spot back behind the plate. Cheyenne Balzer in the catcher squatting position. Nimmo's still in the circle. A little bit of action going on in the state bullpen. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Katie Smith into the batter's box. Has a single and a run scored. Oh, 1 pitch, and You'd imagine Smith be looking to lay down the bunt here. She's going to square around again, puts it down. Good job. Balzer picks it up, fires to first. Off the heel of the glove. Burrow spins it back to home. It's not in time. Virginia Tech scores another. Oh, dear. And in Raleigh, when it rains, it pours.
You know, the big thing there seemed like Burrows was trying to keep her foot on the base, obviously trying to get the out, but that's what caused her to drop that ball and allow that run to score. It's just a very unfortunate play there.
Burrows with the error there, I believe. Third error for NC State. That one will cost them yet another run. And now runners on the corners, no outs. And the Hokies have called Steve Gold over, and they're going to make the roster change. Well, Logan, I mean, this is once again a good position for Virginia Tech.
No outs, men on first and third. Definitely a good position to add some distance to this lead. Keep this from being that close game that we were talking about.
The only good news for NC State is they'll bat 2-3-4 in the bottom half of this inning. When that rolls around, it'll be Tyler Ross, Molly Hutchison, and Meredith Burrows. Caroline Schoenwald will come into the ball game, pinch running. Wide of the pitch. That one misses. Ball one. Kelsey Marica in, the designated player. Interesting day for Marica with a walk and a fly out. RBI opportunity here. And this one is crushed all the way out to center. On her horse is Macaulay Prickett, who makes the play, but that is going to tag in Score Gonzalez. And it is now 5-0 for Virginia Tech. State does have an out on the board. Schoenwald will stay at first. Chelsea Whitcomb, who left the game earlier from the pitching circle back in to hit. She had a double in her last at bat. Called strike on the outside portion of the plate. Certainly Nemo's going to look to try to force Whitcomb into putting this one on the ground, try to get the inning double play. That one misses outside. 1-1. Whitcomb did ground out to Lana Van Dyken all the way back in the first inning, which seems like an eternity ago. Here's the pitch. Check swing, but the pitch was outside.
Very good patience there.
That's something Virginia Tech has really liked to do on this freshman pitcher, is trying to stay as patient as they possibly can. It's really worked to their advantage. Leadoff runners getting on base, and with the NC State fielding errors, they've certainly been able to run all the way around. 3-1 count now. Nemo, signal off the wristband. Hitters count at 3-1. This is swung on. Popped up. Hutchison has this one out in the outfield. Just a courtesy step off the bag from Schoenwald, but she'll come right back. 2 outs. Caitlin Nolan, she was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Walked in the third. She'll dig back in here. And doesn't that just speak to how many batters Virginia Tech's running through? She'll now have logged at-bats the second, third, and fourth. Ball one. Schoenwald hanging out on first. 2 outs as the sun peeking out from behind one of the clouds here is giving a little more illumination to the field. Solid swing fouled. Schoenwald made the break for second. Of course, nullified by the foul. On deck, Elizabeth Burley, should she be needed. Yet another productive inning for the Hokies. Now up 5-0. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, popped straight up. Nimmo's under it and has it in the webbing of her glove. NC State gets out of yet another troublesome defensive inning as Virginia Tech is able to push across another pair of runs. That makes it 5-0 for the Hokies here in Raleigh. NC State grabbing some lumber, in bad need of some runs. We'll see if they're able to get some more runners on the base path coming up. You're watching Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports TV and GoPack.com. Welcome back to NC State University's campus, Raleigh, North Carolina. A little bit of sun peeking back from behind the clouds now. Certainly the NC State would like a little bit of sunshine to start spreading their way. Right now it's been nothing but darkness and gloom, down 5-0 to Virginia Tech. 3 fielding errors for the Wolfpack. Not a whole lot of success getting runners on base. Tyler Ross will lead things off. Takes the first pitch strike here in the back end of the 4th. Logan, you would imagine right now Sean Rychik's just saying don't panic. This one grounded out to Nolan, fires to first. Elizabeth Burley finishes the play as Ross is thrown out on the 6-3.
And it's right back to business for the Hokies. Exactly what you want to see from if you're the head coach, is exactly what you want to see from your squad after the injury to your starting pitcher.
Molly Hutchison will be the at-bat here. Hutchison had a single, which right now is the lone hit on the board for the Pack. Good pitch on the inside corner, strike one. Maggie Tyler, since coming in to finish out the first inning, has been working practically like clockwork. Bounces that one in. Straight ones, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 ball. Outfielders giving a lot of respect to Hutchison for her power, but she's going to go right up the middle here and has another single to her resume. And finally, the Wolfpack have a base runner on as Molly Hutchison goes right back up the pipe with a single. Molly Hutchison 2 for 2 with a couple of singles now.
Number 14, Meredith.
And Logan, if you want somebody to come up to the plate with a runner on the base paths, perhaps no better batsman than Meredith Burrows. Burrows in the cleanup position for a reason. Sophomore phenom from Pikeville. She takes ball 1. Flew out on a well-hit ball to center earlier, just got a little too much air under it. It's easy for Johnson to get out and make the play. That's a called strike. Burrows eyed that one very closely, leaning out, watching intently. Another one. This is going to be grounded right back to first. Burley steps on first. Hutchison down. There's no throw over to second. But Molly Hutchison does move into scoring position. And this will bring Maggie Hawkins up.
With 2 outs, this is a huge opportunity for the Wolfpack. One of the very few times, if not the first, that they've had runners in scoring position today.
Hawkins was K'd back in the 2nd inning by Maggie Tyler. First pitch to Hawkins. Solid cut. Little late as she fouls it back into the screen. Hawkins, the senior, batting .327. 10 runs scored, 15 RBIs in the 5 hole. That one away, 1-1. Hawkins right back into the batter's box. Maggie Tyler onto the rubber. Wind up in the delivery. Healthy cut, nothing but air, 1-2. With the way Maggie Tyler is pitching, certainly you got to imagine that Hokies are comfortable with a 5-run lead here. That one misses upstairs, 2-2. It's going a little bit deeper in the count than Tyler would have wanted. It's as deep as she's been run in some time. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, put back into play. Nolan fields it cleanly, throws to first. Burley makes the play. NC State strands a runner on second. But nothing doing once again for the Wolfpack as they'll head right back out on defense. Virginia Tech has scored at least a run in each of the last 3 innings, and they still hold the lead 5-0 here in Raleigh. 5th inning on the way from Dale Softball Stadium, and you're watching NC State Softball on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Well, the North Carolina State Wolfpack are going to make a call to the bullpen here. Courtney Mirabella will enter the game. Brittany Nimmo, 4 innings pitched, only 1 earned run and 5 runs total given up. She yields 4 hits. Certainly 3 defensive errors had plagued the rest of her teammates. Elizabeth Burley's the leadoff batter, takes the ball from Mirabella. Takes another there. Now the count at 2-0. Mirabella grabs the signal. Delivery misses inside, 3-0. Logan, do you like the move to the bullpen in this situation?
I don't know if I really like it at this point because, like you mentioned, there was only 1 earned run in the first 4 innings. She'd been pitching strong, but the coach decided that this was best for the team, and Mirabella's going to see if she can't settle down the defense.
Well, it's not the start she wanted. Yet another leadoff runner on. It's a walk for Elizabeth Burley. Kinsey Johnson, the center fielder, will come in here. Reached on an error back in the 3rd inning. First pitch to her is low.
And 5 straight balls for Mirabella coming into the game.
Not the start you wanted. Mirabella right back in the circle, picking up her signal. Delivery finally gets a strike across the plate. It's just been one of those games for NC State. I mean, they have had opportunities to strike. That one misses low, 2-1. Mirabella, for most of her career, has sort of been that second pitcher. And of course, has to step into a much larger role with the graduation of Emily Wyman, one of the best who have ever played here at NC State. Good breaking pitch, off speed, 2-2. Mirabella eyes the target, picks up the signal. Burley on first. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Much needed out. Mirabella seems like she might be ready to settle down, get some easy, quick outs for the Wolfpack and send them back to their home dugout.
Well, it's good to see Courtney Mirabella really settle back down and into her own after 5 straight balls. Then starts really attacking the hitter and earns a strikeout to her resume. Kiara Ota now in. Called strike there. Solid pitch for Mirabella. Getting back to the accuracy that we're used to seeing her have. Ota, not a whole lot of knee bend in that batting stance. Very upright. Running out after a slap again. Holds up. 1-1. Burley still lurking out there on first after reaching on a leadoff walk. 1 out, 1-1 pitch. The delivery. Slapped at into the screen. NC State with a busy weekend next weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'll host the tournament. Teams like Loyola Chicago and Northern Illinois coming in. That one right back out to second base. Sharp play by Jones. She'll fire over to first. That will put Burley in scoring position, but Natalie Jones, learning from the error she made earlier, it's almost an identical play. Well hit ball, high bounce. The freshman's in front of it to make the play. Olivia Lattin will dig in here. Lattin has walked twice and singled back in the second inning. A busy day for the freshman second baseman. Off-speed misses high. Target eyed. Mirabella winds up, fires. A little bit too low. 2-0. We're going to have a quick discussion out on the mound once again. This time Sean Rychik stays back in the dugout. Logan, quite a few meetings out there in the circle so far. Really, is this a strategy discussion or is this a settle down discussion?
I think it's a settle down discussion. You know, reminder that she did come in and get, she's gotten 2 outs. She just needs to settle down and get back to what she was doing the last 2 batters. You know, really just give her defense an opportunity to make a play and get the out.
2-0 count. Lattin right back into the batter's box. Righty on righty matchup. That's a solid delivery. 2-1. Wind up of the pitch. Just misses outside. 3-1 count now. Mirabella would love to find a way to earn a strike here by swing or by pitch. She's going to earn it by pitch there. Delivery on the outside. And Logan, do you attack with a fastball here or you try to get a swinging out with a break?
Attack with the fastball. That's what I'm calling if I'm the coach. You know, like I said a moment ago, just give the defense an opportunity to make a play.
And it's going to be a ring-up punch-out. Mirabella earns another strikeout as Lattin is called out looking. Virginia Tech does not play to run in that inning. NC State will head back up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th, still looking for the offensive production to try to get some runs across. We'll see if they're able to do that. Bottom of the 5th on the way. You're watching NC State Softball on GoPack.com and Wolfpack Sports TV. Welcome back to Curtis and Jacqueline Dale Softball Stadium. Drew Blevins alongside Logan Sims. Logan, NC State getting down to their final few outs. They need to find a way to produce some offense.
They really do. It's not what you were hoping to see today with the 5-0 score right now in the bottom of the 5th.
Hannah Summer digging in. Grounded out to the shortstop. Nolan earlier. Nolan's had quite the action down there at short today. That one's inside, 1-1. Maggie Tyler has made fairly quick work of NC State's batting order so far. Molly Hutchison has earned the only 2 hits for the Pack so far today. Had a single earlier, advanced on the fielder's choice that Meredith Burrows grounded into. Stranded in scoring position on second. Solid cut, out of play. 2-2. Logan, something about those 2-1 pitches, NC State attacking at him, just can't quite square up. Tyler on the stripe again. 2-2 delivery. Swung on. It's a little bloop, and it's going to drop!
Dangerous.
Miscommunication. And that is going to drop. We'll see how this is going to be scored. Just one of those plays. Marika was right there. Nolan was behind her, and it split the fielders evenly.
Either way, it's life for the Wolfpack offense. We'll see if they can take advantage.
Pardon me. Going to score that an error.
Did they say who they scored that on?
I believe that's going to be on the third baseman, who's Marika. 1-1 count now to Cheyenne Balzer, the freshman catcher. Struck you out back in the second. Wind up at the pitch. Watches that one go in low. Here's that magical count for Maggie Tyler, 2-1. Many times over, she's been able to get state batters to foul back into the screen. We'll see what she goes with here. Called strike on the outside corner. Summer on first, no outs, 2-2. Balzer would love to make contact here. Checks up, no go, and it's a full count.
Yeah, in this situation, if you're Tyler, you want to get this out.
Here's the pitch. Outside, free pass down to first base. For the first time since the first inning, NC State has a couple of base runners on. Jessica Moore's in the number 2 uniform.
The Wolfpack might be getting some life here.
Well, this is exactly what they wanted. Runner on first and second. Jessica Moore coming in, pinch hitting for Natalie Jones. Natalie Jones had her first start today. She's appeared in 11 games, but it was the first game started today. She has not recorded an at-bat. Brittany Nimmo came in and pinch hit for her in the third. Perhaps more properly took her own hitting spot in the third. Now Jessica Moore is going to pinch hit. Fouls that one down the first baseline out of play. Moore, freshman middle infielder. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Interesting that Sean Rychik is giving Moore the go-ahead to swing away. Here's the pitch. Checked up, 2-1. Digging back into the batter's box here. 2-1 pitch. Once again, fouled into the screen. And Logan, these 2-1 pitches that are getting fouled off, I mean, is this just the genius of Tyler, or does he stay a little overzealous swinging?
I think they're a little overzealous, trying to be aggressive and take advantage of an opportunity where they think they're going to get a good pitch.
That's a seeing-eye single, and they're going to hold up Hannah Summer at third, but the freshman comes through in a monumental way, and the bases are chock full now with nobody out.
You know, Drew, I know on that play you're trying to get the ball back in, cut it off to home plate in case the runner decides to make a turnaround there and go for home. But that ball looked like it got back in time. It might have been an out at first if they'd gone for that play.
Jessica Moore reaches first base on the single. Cheyenne Balzer out at second base. Hannah Summer standing on third. And it's a meeting at the mound with Maggie Tyler. Macaulay Prickett's going to come in to bat here for NC State. And how do you like this, Logan? Jessica Moore with perhaps the biggest hit of the game on her birthday. A very happy birthday to the young lady standing out on first base. And really, that's a hit NC State needed to have. Puts a couple of runners in scoring position, and Moore's out on the base path to boot.
You have the bases packed with no outs. This is an opportunity for the NC State Wolfpack to make this a game again. You know, it doesn't need to be on one swing of the bat. Just try to get some runs here, create some opportunities.
The Petaluma, California native Macaulay Prickett digs in here. Prickett with her trademark red bow. Grounded out to second base earlier. Reaching out for that one. Fouled up onto the concourse. Quickly 0-2 against Prickett.
And the last thing you want here as the Wolfpack are 2 quick outs.
Lana Van Dyken is up next on deck. She's the shortstop. Has had good contact on a fly out and a line out. Summer quickly chased back by Smith. 1-2 now on one of those wasted pitches. When you get ahead in the count as a pitcher, you do have a lot of options to go with. Prickett right back up the middle. Tech will opt to go home first. There's no other play. So the bases will still remain loaded on the force out back at home. Hannah Summer was the one thrown out.
Coming to the plate next, number 10, Lana Van Dyken.
Everybody else will roll around. Lana Van Dyken's the top of the batting order. And on deck is Tyler Ross. You saw yesterday what a couple swings of the bat can do. NC State would love to make a difference with a couple swings here as Van Dyken takes strike 1. Virginia Tech yesterday had 7 runs accounted for by 2 swings. Upstairs, ball 1. Van Dyken back into the batter's box here. Senior's been in the pressure situations before. Very patient. She takes another ball, and
there's that count
that
again.
2-1 count. Wind up at the pitch. And that one's away, and now it is a true hitter's count at 3-1. And Logan, you don't expect Maggie Tyler to make the error to walk in the first run of the ball game. Deshaun Wright should give the green light on almost anything here.
I don't know about anything.
Here's the pitch. That
Not
one's
bad.
upstairs. She's walked in a run. Balzer comes around to score. The shutout is broken. NC State in the bottom of the 5th is on the scoreboard, and Tyler Ross represents the game-tying run at home plate with the bases loaded. Balzer comes around to score. Moore standing on third, Prickett on second. Ross trying to put a charge into that one.
I think she just tried to tie the game up.
I think she did too, and she wasn't too far away from it as it just went off the end of her bat. Five to 1, Ross with her first strike after the foul. If she had made contact with that one, it would have been on Western Boulevard, but a whole lot of nothing, 0-2. Ross right back in. Maggie Tyler, couple of options here. Winds up, fires. Upstairs, ball 1. Logan, you can just sort of feel that nervous buzz around everybody in the stadium here. Virginia Tech was locked and loaded and cruising, and now they've hit a little bump in the road. 1 out, bases loaded. Ross swings. Just got a piece of that one. You know, we're sealed in by the windows up here in the press box. You could just barely hear a nick. Good job by Ross to stay locked in here. Back on the stripe is Maggie Tyler. Wind up at the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2.
Good patience here by Ross.
That's difficult to do for a power hitter. 16 RBIs, 8 home runs. Crowd a little bit more rambunctious than earlier. Fouled back into the screen. They're going to try to get that softball out of the meshing. Steve Gold over to get a couple of fresh softballs. Still stuck on a 2-2 count to Tyler Ross. Grabs some dirt, rubs it on her bare hands. No batting gloves for Tyler Ross. 2-2 pitch. Swung on. It's a rope, and it is a great defensive play made by Gonzalez. The throw home is not going to be in time. Everybody's going to advance. Great play made by Gonzalez as she had to cover a little bit of ground to get over, but a run will score for NC State, and it's 5-2.
I don't know if you saw that there, Drew, but Prickett for some reason stayed at second for an extended period of time. I don't know if she thought the ball was caught or what, but they almost had an opportunity to get an out at third.
I think she was waiting to see if that throw was going to end up coming home. Just a quick appeal play is what you saw there.
That was a tag up. Okay, that's my mistake. I didn't see that. My bad.
They are going to say that the runner does score. It was Jessica Moore who came around. Macaulay Prickett standing on third. Van Dyken to second. And here is Molly Hutchison. Hutchison with a couple of singles. Those came in the first and fourth innings. She was swinging for the fences there, just off the top of her bat. Didn't miss by much. 1-1. Hutchison is out in right field today. Can play out there or back behind the plate at catcher, but again, she's in the outfield today. Here's a windup of the pitch. That one misses out. 2-1 to Hutchison, and you can almost guarantee if this is anywhere close to being a strike, Hutchison's going to look to turn on it. Hutchison, the junior, batting .321 this season, coming into this ball game. And she's crushed it, going to the wall, and it's gone! Molly Hutchison strokes it out into left center, and we've got a tie softball game. Unbelievable! Molly Hutchison has tied it with a swing of the bat, and she's 3 for 3. That deserves an oh my stars.
Oh my stars.
I cannot believe what we just saw. Logan,
I think that almost made it to my stars.
Absolutely crushed it. You talked about the barn burner earlier. Well, we're right back in it. And Meredith Burrows, the cleanup hitter, has a clean slate out of the base paths, and it's 5-5.
And Maggie Teller does not know what to think right now.
It's a 5-run fifth inning that has knotted us back up, oddly enough, at 5.
And it's a new game.
You know, wouldn't it have just been something if this had happened yesterday when it would have been March 5th, but 5's not quite the magic number. 1-1 pitch there.
Only you would think of that, Drew.
Maggie Tyler recomposing herself. 1-1 delivery here. Misses out.
The Wolfpack would obviously like to add on here in this 2-out rally.
Well, this was their major breakthrough in the Charlotte game as well when it was back-to-back home runs. That one fouled back into the screen now, 2-2.
You know, I know you were working that game. I was getting ready to ask you if that was not the case. If they didn't tie the game on a home run.
Charlotte with a 3-run shot in the top of the fifth, and that was answered with back-to-back jacks, that time from Burrows and Hawkins. This time it's Molly Hutchison who goes deep and ties this game with a 3-run shot of her own.
And what could you expect? Nothing less. Now Burrows is hoping to add on.
2-2 pitch. And this is stroke. Gonzalez gets there again. making the catch again, covering some ground, but the damage is done. Virginia Tech gives up a 5 spot in the 5th inning. They'll have to grab some lumber. Folks, you've just been guaranteed that you will see at least another run scored, and I'm guessing more. It's a barn burner again here in Raleigh as we head to the top of the 6th with Virginia Tech coming to bat with the score tied at 5 between the Hokies and the Wolfpack. You're watching NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com.
Someone call the fire department.
Welcome back to the little slice of heaven between Cates and Morrill. It has played host to quite the softball game. Virginia Tech a run in the 2nd, a couple in the 3rd, a couple in the 4th. 5-0 at one point, and going into the bottom of the 5th, NC State had to start batting from their 6th hole, almost batted fully around. But nonetheless, there's a couple of base hits, a couple of walks, and ultimately a home run from Molly Hutchison that has tied this ball game at 5-5, all 5 coming in the bottom of the 5th. Leading off here is Vanessa Gonzalez. Gonzalez had a couple of catches in the 5th inning. She's out in left field today. Wide up at the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Strike 3.
There it is, Mr. Blevins. The first leadoff out of the game.
Gonzalez goes down swinging. Mirabella has her 2nd strikeout of the game. She comes in for Brittany Nimmo, who went 4 innings. Only gave up 1 earned run. NC State is fighting against 3 fielding errors they committed earlier in the ball game. Strike 1 to Katie Smith, the catcher. Smith has a single and reached on an error, as well as a line out down to Meredith Burrows. That one off the bottom of her bat. Mirabella making quick work so far of what's a fairly secure batting lineup here for Virginia Tech. Surely this is what Scott Thomas would have wanted. 2, 3, 4. Chance to get down Chelsea Whitcomb. That one upstairs, 1-2. One-two pitch, 1 out. Mirabella gets a signal, fires, fouled down the 3rd base line. Logan, I know we've mentioned this before, but still a very good crowd here for the first Sunday of spring break at North Carolina State University.
The first Sunday of March.
Wind up in the pitch. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Back-to-back Ks for Courtney Mirabella. And now Kelsey Merica will come in. If you look at Marica's day, it's been a walk, a fly out, and a sac fly that scored. Marica in the cleanup spot. Wind up at the pitch. That one low. Good stop by Balzer once again. Cheyenne Balzer, for the most part, has had a good game back behind the plate. One wild pitch earlier that Brittany Nimmo fired. He's had some quality stops. That one misses just low. You want to look at the growth of this softball program. Balzer is one of quite a few freshmen that Sean Rychik has used as he continues to grow this program. Called strike. 2-1. NC State ACC champions a couple years ago. And now still right in the thick of things, competing with teams like Florida State, like Notre Dame. That one bounces in. 3-1. Not even to talk about the growth of the state program. This is going to be another meeting on the mound. Katie Holmes out to have a discussion.
You know, in that short little meeting, I would say, no pressure. but you're 1 out away from the first 1-2-3 inning, and it's the inning following the 5-run inning that your team just scored. This is a huge momentum, just to keep the momentum going for the Wolfpack if she can pull this out.
Coach Katie back to the dugout. That pitch sails high, and it is going to be a walk as Marika goes down to first base. Not quite 1-2-3.
Now batting number 17, Chelsea Whitcomb.
Chelsea Whitcomb comes in. Whitcomb has had quite the interesting day. Started out on the mound, had issues with her plant foot back in the first inning, but since then had a well-hit fly out to right field and Molly Hutchison, but also has a double and a run score. That came in the third. She takes strike one. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped straight up. Balzer can't quite find it. Cheyenne Balzer got caught a little bit in no man's land there. Perhaps if she had turned the opposite direction from initial instinct, she could have made that play. But of course, if Steve Gold did not have moved out of the way, that would have popped him right on the top of the noggin. Nonetheless, still 0-2. Wind up the pitch. That one upstairs, 1-2. It's been quite the entertaining game. 1-2 pitch is the next one you'll see. Here it is. Swung on. Half-hearted swing, just puts a little bit of backspin on the ball. Fouled into the screen harmlessly. Whitcomb looked like she was stuck between a rock and a hard place, so she wanted to check up on that swing, but had too much momentum going forward. Wind up of the pitch at 1-2. Good catch by Balzer. She had to come out of the crouch there. 2-2 now. 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Marika on first. Here's the delivery. Called strike 3. Courtney Mirabella accounts for every out in the top of the 6th. All 3 of them strikeouts. Tremendous job by NC State's pitching staff. And NC State is going to grab the bats and go right back to work offensively. We'll see if they can pick up where they left off. The score going into the bottom of the 6th, NC State 5, Virginia Tech 5. We'll be right back on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Welcome back to Dale Softball Stadium. Maggie Hawkins digging in here in the 5-hole for NC State. Leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 6th. NC State scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th to tie the softball game up 5-5. Oddly enough, both teams only have 4 hits. Hawkins, good stroke, going, and that's just over the top of the wall. It's gone! Maggie Hawkins gives NC State the lead at 6-5. It's a solo shot!
And she's eating it up right now. What a comeback, and to take the lead in the next inning for the Wolfpack. Some sure tenacity shown by this softball team for the Wolfpack.
6 unanswered runs. It looked like nothing more than a line drive and a double to the wall, but it carries and it keeps going. Maggie Hawkins plays hero for now. She's given the Wolfpack the lead at 6-5. And now they are going to take Maggie Tyler out of this softball game. It's a tough finish for Tyler, who had pitched so magnificently earlier in this ball game. And the last 3 batters she has faced, Hutchison and Hawkins have taken her deep.
Now into pitch for Virginia Tech, number 8, Michaela Aiken.
Michaela Aiken will be in the circle for the Hokies. Aiken will come in as the 3rd pitcher of the game. Was originally slated to start over at 3rd base until the injury to Chelsea Whitcomb. Moved her around, and Marika took over at third. And now Aiken is going to have to do as much damage control as possible. And truth be told, for her, it's like starting a fresh inning, Logan. Just down a run.
It really is.
It's going to be Hannah Summer to dig in here.
Now coming to the plate, number 44, Hannah Summer.
And Hannah Summers going to see if she can. She's made some good contact in this game and got on first base the last inning off that little bloop behind third base.
Scored an error against Marika. Summer standing almost as far away from the plate as you can. Steps in there and checks up. Ball 2. Logan, put yourself in Aiken's shoes right now. I mean, what are you thinking? Is you've got to come in and do the best you can to get 3 straight outs and put it back in your offense's hands.
It's some serious pressure put on her. She's got to come in, stay calm, make the pitches that you need to make, and honestly, just let the Wolfpack put the ball in play, keep the ball low, so to try to keep it on the ground, let your defense do their jobs.
Wind up in the delivery. That one swung right back up the middle. It's going to be a base hit for Summer.
She'll find the hole like that.
And this time she will earn the base the hard way with the knock right up the alley. Hannah Summer stands on first base with a single, and it goes around to Cheyenne Bolzer, who walked in her last at bat.
Now batting, number 27, Cheyenne Bolzer.
And Sean Reichik is going to take Summer off the base path. He's going to put in number 5, Molly Martin, the junior. Martin a little bit more speed over on first base. Cincy State would love to have an insurance run in.
Run for NC State at first base, number 5, Molly Martin.
It's going to be 6, 7, 8 to lead off for Virginia Tech. Their next turnaround. Martin will make her way over to second base on the sacrifice bunt put down by Bolzer. So another runner in scoring position. State's going to have a couple of opportunities to try to plate Martin.
Coming to the plate,
That was a good play there.
Jessica Moore is going to bat here. Moore had a critical single in her last at bat that really started off the run for the Wolfpack. It's Moore's birthday today.
And you can really say
strike one.
You can really say that's what ignited the comeback for the Wolfpack.
Stayed in there on a quality at bat. Ended up getting the base knock. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one back.
And she's able to fight back here and get another single that might play the second run to add to the lead.
And imagine Molly Martin, so long as it gets past the halfway point in the outfield, she's going to be wheeled around. Big pitch here. That one misses just outside, 1-2. Very close to being rung up there, just on the outside portion of the plate. Aiken rocks and fires. That's beat down the first base line. Burley picks it up, fires it over. That is going to move Molly Martin over to third base for Macaulay Prickett. But the second out of the inning. They are going to pinch hit here for Macaulay Prickett. Sean Reichik over. Coming in is going to be Hannah Yeager, junior in the number 9 uniform, typically an outfielder. Katie Grimes giving some instructions down on field level. Yeager will come in. Van Dyken on deck should she be needed. Yeager has had some big hits in her career. Needs to find a way to get one here for NC State to have an insurance run up on the board. Wind up at the pitch. Outside ball one. Aiken back on the stripe. That one catches the inside corner, strike one. One delivery, swung on, right back up to the shortstop, off the chest, and no play made. Nolan stopped it, but couldn't scoop it up to fire it to first. NC State has an insurance marker on the board. It's 7-5.
That looked like a little bit of a thank you for the 4 unearned runs earlier in the game, Drew.
They will score it as an error on Nolan, the shortstop, who made a tremendous play earlier in the ball game. Alana Van Dyken will dig in here. Hannah Yeager will come out of the game, and Macaulay Prickett's going to re-enter to be a pinch runner.
And yeah, it's really unfortunate for Aiken because she did what she needed to do. She got the ball on the ground, really the play that she needed to get the final out and send her team to the top of the 7th with an opportunity to, just need one run to at least tie this game.
Well, and also a good job by Yeager to leg that ball out down to first base. Nolan got her body in front of the ball, made a good play on a hard-hit grounder. Just couldn't find a way to scoop it back up for the throw. Strike one to Van Dyken. She lines up deep in the batter's box. Batting .312 coming into the ball game. Walked in the 5th. That one outside for the first ball of the count. Van Dyken also scored a run. She came around on the 3-run shot from Molly Hutchison. The rock of the pitch. Going down to second base. Prickett going to be safe on a late throw. Macaulay Prickett swipes the bag. And that's her first on her first attempt of the year. She'll be in scoring position with a 1-2 count to Lana Van Dyken.
And that's a good opportunity right there for the Wolfpack to extend their lead now. And takes a base hit to score another run.
Right up at the pitch. That one bounces in, gets by the catcher. Prickett is down to third now. That's going to be scored a wild pitch against Aiken as that one bounced in before the front chalk of the batter's box. Things starting to unravel here for the Hokies, Logan.
They really are. It's definitely raveling up for the Wolfpack. If they could add a third run here, with the way Mirabella's been pitching the last few innings, they would almost be comfortable with a 3-run lead, especially since they've not scored since the top of the 4th inning.
2-2 pitch, right back up the middle. Aiken makes the play, calmly fires over to Burley at first. So another run will not score for NC State. The home run from Maggie Hawkins, supplemented by a run from Molly Martin, pinch running for Hannah Summer, has given NC State a 7-5 lead. They are 3 outs away from sealing up the win that would take them back to 500. Courtney Mirabella might take the mound. Harley Hubbard is the other option. We'll see what Sean Rychik and Katie Grimes opt to do. 3 outs away from another ACC victory. You're watching NC State softball on Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Courtney Mirabella right back into the pitching circle, needing 3 outs to try to secure a victory for NC State. First pitch is a ball inside to Caitlin Nolan. Nolan was hit by a pitch, walked, and popped out to the pitcher. Delivery there, down the pipe, strike one. right now, Virginia Tech opting to go with their same lineup so far as we can tell, as Nolan leads off. Burley is in the on-deck circle. That one runs a little too far inside for ball 2. Mirabella fresh. If she finishes out this ball game, she'll have 3 innings more pitched to her resume. Whoo! That one just came out of her hand all wrong, right over the head of Caitlin Nolan. 3-1 hitters count. Nolan's able to reach first base. That makes Burley the tying run coming to bat. 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Good contact. Hutchison on the run. She's got it. Molly Hutchison covering a good amount of ground down by the first base foul line to come over and make that play on a well-hit ball. 1 out.
That's what you need. That's what you need, a leadoff out. I'm sorry, Drew.
Oh, no worries. That was a whole lot more important than me introducing the batter. Elizabeth Burley coming in with a single to her resume today. Off-speed pitch, ball 1 to her. Struck out and walk as well. Mirabella picking up the signal off of her wristband. Winds up, fires this one. Another ball taken. Logan, I'd imagine that Burley's just going to keep the bat on the shoulder until Mirabella throws a strike here, especially with 2 straight balls.
I would agree. She didn't even look too in control of that last at bat.
There's a strike. Fastball on the outside portion of the plate. 2-1. Another hitter's count. Here's the pitch. Swung on. This is toward the gap. Hutchison on the run in. She makes the play again. Virginia Tech down to their last out. As Molly Hutchison gets under another blooper. And now it's going to be Emma Strouth. She will pinch hit here for Kinsey Johnson. Strouth, a freshman, outfielder if she was in the field.
Now it's pitch hit for the Hokies, number 14, Emma Strouth.
Strouth being put in a big situation here. Tech needs to find a way to get on base. Right down the pipe, strike 1.
And then after they find a way on base, they need to find a way to score.
Well, that incredibly simply way of explaining it, but absolutely correct. That one's fouled back up into the screen. Tech down on to their last strike.
And the crowd getting behind Mirabella, wanting that last strike.
Well, here it is.
There it was. Nope.
And not that time. That one high and away, ball 1. Slow clapping again. Mirabella will pick up the signal here. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. And Mirabella has allowed Strouth back into the count at 2-2. Heat is on here. Count even at 2. 2 outs. The delivery. Swung on. Belted out in toward the gap. And it's going to get off the wall. Strouth legging it out to second base. The tying run is coming to the plate for the Hokies. Strouth was an absolute shot. Maybe 3 feet from clearing the fence for a solo shot. And it's going to be another pinch hitter into the game. Brianna Davenport, the sophomore, will come in. She represents the tying run for Virginia Tech.
Now it's pitch hit for the Hokies, number 22, Brianna Davenport.
Davenport being cheered along by the Hokie faithful. Quite a number of them here today as well. Not an incredibly long drive from Blacksburg. Strike one to Davenport. Olivia Lattin is slated to be on deck. Dangerous freshman hitter can also force you into giving her a walk. Swung on, found into the screen. Last strike situation once again for Virginia Tech, and it's on the shoulders of the sophomore Davenport. Mirabella gets a signal, delivers outside. Logan, that's just one you're willing to waste. See if she's willing to chase it, because there's no way any batter was going to reach out to get that one.
No, not at all. Just a waste pitch.
1-2 pitchers count. Mirabella delivers. And it's low and away. A hair's width from ending the ball game, but we'll go 2-2 again. Surprised Davenport was able to hold off on that one. Very enticing pitch. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three! NC State climbs the mountain for the comeback victory! The final score is 7-5 in an unbelievable effort in the latter half of the game from the Wolfpack. Logan, that is an outstanding finish for NC State. Virginia Tech had a 5-0 lead, and State comes back with a monumental 5th and 6th inning to win this game 7-5.
I got 2 words for you. Barn burner. That was a great game, Drew. I've not seen a game that good. I mean, really lately, it just seems like every NC State softball game has been incredible to watch. A 1 or 2 run barn burner. They are what's the word I'm looking for? They have a lot of tenacity. They stuck around. They didn't allow what seemed to be Mount Everest of a mountain of 5-0 against a team that you were expecting a low-scoring game, and Tyler came in there and pitched a great couple of innings before that bottom of the 5th inning. Great game. The NC State Wolfpack just hung around and did what they needed to do.
The rubber match goes to the Wolfpack. They take the series 2-1 against the Hokies in one of the most entertaining softball games you will ever have the pleasure of seeing. Next up on Wolfpack Sports Television, NC State softball will be playing next weekend, starting on Friday and Saturday. We will have the coverage of the tournament that they will be hosting right here at Curtis and Jacqueline Dale Softball Stadium. Signing off for the rest of our crew, camera people Madison Bell and BJ Atarian, our technical director and color commentator Logan Sims. Thank them for all of their hard work. I'm Drew Blevins. Again, the final score here from Raleigh, the North Carolina State Wolfpack 7, the Virginia Tech Hokies 5. We hope you enjoyed this production of Wolfpack Sports Television and GoPack.com. Again, the final score from Raleigh, 7-5 in favor of the Wolfpack over the Virginia Tech Hokies. I'm Drew Blevins. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack. Have a lovely spring break and a wonderful Sunday.